That's
What
gas.
it is.
No, that's me.
Hey, we're live now.
I got no
Today is the
excuse.
27th of April, 2018. Welcome, everybody. Hello to everybody in the chat room. On the panel today, we have Costa, who is from Cyprus and lives in the UK. We've got Paul, who is from Spain, Patricia, UK, Levkungfu, UK, and Matthew, America. So, hi, everybody.
Howdy.
Hello. Matthew. Patricia! No. So that's a joke we have now.
Hello.
Hello, my darling.
Everybody.
Yeah, hey. We haven't seen you for a while, and I'm glad we've caught up with you a little bit for today. Yeah, you were just sort of explaining some of the things that you've been doing, and your topic that you like talking about.
Magnetics and stuff. Yeah. My big thing is, of course, as everybody knows, electromagnetics, or as I would like to correct the term, to magnetoelectrics, because I believe this is a magnetic universe before it's an electric universe, as magnetism is the prime materia. That's like the attribute of magnetism is cold and darkness. There was cold and dark before there was heat and light. Well, just like an explosion, electricity, aka energy, works with expansion. From a single point, it expands, tearing and pulling until light and heat are created, where you get electricity. Well, the opposite of that's magnetism, where compression works, and everything is pulled into a center point of inertia that's created through magnetism. Magnetism itself doesn't actually attract anything. Things are attracted to it in a way that its main attribute is what energy seeks, because energy is constantly in rhythm, constantly in motion, constantly vibrating, and it wants to come to rest, which magnetism's point of inertia can provide, which is why energy seeks that point out. So magnetism is kind of like, it's an effect more than it is a thing, I guess you can say, because its cause is because of a perturbation within the ether. So the ether, when it's unpolarized, it's chaotic and there's no direction, or unpolarized. And when there's a perturbation within the ether, kind of like a swimming pool, when you throw a rock into a swimming pool, that rock creates a disturbance or a perturbation within the water, and the water is separated around that point of entry, but it collapses back in on that point with such rapid force. Sometimes you have noise. With a large enough one, you could even have heat and light because of the cracks. So sonoluminescence is a great example of that. So yeah, magnetism is the prime, like the prime materia that existed before any and all, and then energy being introduced to the prime materia, and that would be the prime mobile, or the father, what everybody wants to call the father of the universe, the intelligence. But yeah, that's my whole study is basically in on that. It tells me how the sun and moon create heat and cold and light and dark and all of that. With the sun saturating the atmosphere with its energy, it causes the elemental particles or elemental matter in the air to vibrate, causing heat and light. Whereas when the moon comes around, its magnetic lure pulls that energy back out of the atmosphere, leaving behind what pre-existed in the first place, which is cold and darkness. So
we had Crow on the other day.
That's one way for people not to be afraid of the dark, is to realize that the dark was always there in the first place, and it's the light that that is actually the visitor.
We had Crow on the other day, and he was saying that for him, the sun is electric and the moon is magnetical. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Because the sun being an electric component, it works through expansion, so it expands, pushing all of its energy out into the area of which it's encompassing. Whatever part of the plane it's over. So that part of the plane, its direct diameter area of which that energy can reach, saturates the atmosphere, causing the particles to vibrate, excessively, creating heat or light. When the particular energy bounces off of other matter, and that transfers some of its energy into that matter, creating an electroradiation burst. That's actually what we see as light. What we see as color is actually because of hypergeometric shapes within the microscopics of the matter itself. If it's a large, long wave pattern, it's more blue. If it's more of a rapid, spiky, triangular pattern, it's more red. Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought about it until I came across this video. I kind of mirrored it, but you don't see light. You only see it when it hits something. So you
Well, yeah,
don't
that's
really
exactly
see.
what it is. Light itself doesn't travel. It's the energy that carries. Let's see, how could I put it? It's like there's the thought is just like light. It works kind of in the same way. You expand your thought out, which is an energy of the ether, and it returns. It's kind of how you work with your eyes. You send out a signal with your eyes, through your mind, and that hits whatever's in front of you, and when it returns, it doesn't come back. You don't see it coming back toward you because it's not moving. You see it as the reflection of what your energy that you put out, uh, whatever it comes back. It's kind of hard to explain, kind of like sonar. You put out a random chaotic symbol, or signal, and when it comes back uniform because of what it bounced off of. It's the same principle with your eyes, just on a much more intricate scale. Your irises are probably some of the most complicated, incredibly intricate, created things ever to exist. How they change in shape and form to acclimate the millions of different, patterns and shapes that it gets per second is, beyond the speed of anything comprehensible. I think it's, beyond imagination. I can't even describe how incredible it really is. And there's just our eyes alone. You know? The universe is literally holds the secrets to our body, and our body literally holds the secrets to the universe. They're with one and within each other. If you think about it, uh, think about the energy is the father, right? And the prime, material in the beginning, the waters all around, was like the mother. Well, when the father used the energy, inseminated, the material with the water, it created what? It created a bubble. That's created through electrolysis. Electricity or energy through the waters creates gas, separates the molecules, gases, and whatever else. So you got the bubble now, and then within that bubble, light happens. Why? Because sonoluminescence. God spoke and said, "Let there be light." Next thing you know, that's sonoluminescence. We have light within that bubble, and within that bubble, there's already the gases of life: oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, what have you, and then all of a sudden, from the waters, if you're reading religion and all that stuff, from the waters comes everything else. Comes life, comes, dirt, comes matter, comes everything else. Why from the water? Because the water was the prime material. It's not actually water, it's a solution. So more than just sonoluminescence, it was more so chemisoluminescence. There's many different kinds of luminescent science out there. So don't get too stuck on just sonoluminescence. That's just part of it. But I believe that the whole process was, the father being energy, the mother being the waters, those two mixing, the father coming upon the mother, they mix. Next thing you know, electrolysis, bubble, God speaks, let there be light. That's sound, vibration. There's chemisoluminescence right there, and you've got light. It's a science more than it is religion. Religion holds the secrets to the science of creation. That's why religion was created, in my opinion, is to hide these secrets from people that would know them and use them for, the wrong reasons, which pretty much already happened anyways. So I guess it was all for naught.
Wow, thanks for that. Yeah, wow. Yeah, are you still doing your diagrams and stuff like that?
Me?
Yeah, are you still drawing or you're just like moved it on in your head a bit because you had quite a few topics before?
I've still got all my books and everything at home. I actually just recently sold my telescope because I've looked through it 1,000 times and nothing ever seems to change. It all looks like the same exact thing. Not what NASA shows us, of course, at all, but it all looks like the exact same thing. You know, pretty little lights of multiple colors. Looks like little disco lights up there, changing in shape and form, in and out of it. You know, nothing really changed. When you look at the moon, it doesn't really change either. So there's no reason to have a telescope forever and ever. If you're curious, look through it for a little bit and then pass it on to somebody else that could use it. So I don't really do that anymore, but I do still, you know, inquire a lot into some of this stuff. Mostly, you know, I'm mostly really following along the lines of like laws of attraction and stuff right now. It's what I'm really getting into. And yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Just asking, is Paul there? Paul, because he's muted now.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Right. I wanted to talk a bit, as Matthew is talking, about the phi effect, the PHI effect. Have you ever heard of it? It's an experiment done by P. Kollers and M. von Grunau in 1970s. And it consists by lighting a point on a wall and very quickly lighting another point just beside it, and alternating the 2 points. If you do it quite quickly, you will perceive just a line, and there is no line, just 2 points, one after the other. If you do it,
Are you talking about the double split experiment?
No, it's another experiment. It's called the phi effect. You see, I'll try to explain the best I can. You light one point in a wall, and then the other very quickly you light it, and the other goes out. So you see what you perceive is a line going from one point to the other. You know that it is quickly enough for you to perceive a line, about less than 1 second or so. The thing is that if you do it with colors, let's say blue in the right and red in the left, what it happens is that before the red light switches on, you see a line that before the other light switches, you see the line starting the color before the light switches on. Do you see what you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So that is called the phi effect.
Is this an experiment proving that light does travel?
It's more strange. It says that it travels before you see it, before the light switches on. You see the red line, which we perceive, or I perceive, switching it on before it switches on. So it's like the light is going ahead in time, or we are going ahead in time and perceiving before it switches on. So it's a very
that's paradoxical, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really strange.
That's actually I'd like to get some more information on that if you're able to put that in the
put it on. I wanted to talk. So maybe this is something happening also with the perception of sun and moon. Or, I don't know, something to.
I'm curious about that. You know, it's a curious notion because I do know that everybody does have a sense to see into the future. Every single person does. They prove it. They dream, you know, every night and wake up every morning.
It's not all just past. It's time. it comes to the future, we perceive future things. And
I totally believe that light itself is intelligent. 100%. The double slit experiment itself proves that light is intelligent. You know.
yeah, I'm not all that sure about the double split experiment because we are not all that sure, no, that atoms are being uh, well observed. No, we don't have that sort of cameras, no, to point at such a tiny thing. No, it's,
To see a light. Well, there's a video that I saw. I don't know its accuracy, but it's a video of them saying that they shot a single particle of light, a single photon, through a water bottle with such a high-speed camera that you could see the light passing from one end of the bottle to the other end of the bottle. And everybody believes that that's the perfect thing to prove that light travels. Well, the way I see it is this photon or this beam of energy passed through, it itself traveled, passed through, lighting up the molecules in the water as it moved by, and the effect of the energy momentarily transferring into the water molecules themselves as it passed by made it look as though the light itself did travel, though the light itself did not travel. It was the energy itself that was traveling, leaving behind the signature of it traveling. Kind of like something skipping through a pond. What happens behind it? You're able to, see what's going on where it touched every single time. I believe that's the same thing with the photon. Everywhere that it actually touched and hit another particle of water, it momentarily transferred some of its energy into that, allowing it to light up through electroradiation. Many experiments show that light itself doesn't travel. It's what it bounces off of. And then I guess in all technicality, it would be curious to even realize whether or not light itself was even real or not, because technically we could all be in darkness right now and only being perceiving light because our mind is allowing us to perceive light, because technically it's just energy. And we only see like the smallest amount of the actual light spectrum itself. Most of the light spectrum is completely invisible to us. So it's only our mind that allows us to, see it. It's really just energy into our irises bouncing up like sonar, truly. Kind of like sound, same thing with sound. The sound itself is not coming out of my mouth. Vibrations are coming out of my mouth, bouncing off of the walls or going through the wires, and then it's being collected by your eardrums and then converted into what your brain knows as sound. But there's no actual noise moving out of my mouth. It's vibrations, percussions in the atmosphere.
Yeah, there is no organ occupied. There is no organ that works with your voice. Your voice is such a mysterious thing because no organ.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Truly, it's got its own little corner in your throat, all to itself, out of your entire body. Yet it's the most intricate thing, one of the most intricate things of your entire body. I think it's amazing.
Can I join this, Oliver? Which one do you like to be called, Ibanez or Ludlow?
I think in English, Ludlow. It sounds better.
I don't know if you've met Matthew before. Oliver, obviously Spanish, and Paul asked me to ask you to come on, so I bet you'll be speaking a bit of Spanish. And Oliver has a big channel, and he's big in Spain, and he's also written the first book in Flat Earth in Spanish. We were just talking to Matthew. Sorry, Paul, Oliver, Matthew, Levkungfu, Patricia, Costa, and me for Oliver. So yeah, Paul, you've got your moment with Oliver.
¿Qué tal?
Hey, ¿cómo va?
Bien, muy bien. Oye, ¿vas a venir a Valencia cuando venga Iru?
Sí.
Pues nada, encantado. Nos vemos allí, yo qué sé. Sí.
Ah, perfecto. Ahí nos veremos.
Estaría bien tomar algo por ahí, una paellita.
Hombre, eso sin duda.
Si hay tiempo y se puede, pues nos tomamos algo por ahí.
Perfecto, perfecto. Pues sí, ahí estaré. De hecho, mañana llamaré a Luis Pisu y para el tema del hotel y tal.
Muy bien.
Así que perfecto. Bueno, estabas hablando en inglés, ¿no? ¿Antes o no?
Yes, much better in English for all the audience.
Yes, now we're changing. Spanish is
We
over.
can't understand.
Spanish lesson is over now.
Hi, Oliver.
Hi, what's
Where
up?
are you? Are you in Spain? You live in Spain?
Yeah, I'm in Spain, man.
Where about?
In Barcelona.
Barcelona. Ah, good. But you are Spanish or not?
I am half Spanish, half English,
Ah,
half
good,
British.
good. Me too. I'm also half Spanish.
Ah,
Yeah,
Yo
yeah.
hablo poquito español.
Podemos hablar español. My mother is from Burgos,
right.
castellano. Somos castellanos.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, yeah. So you're into flat Earth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
very. I think I saw you one day, one night last week. I think you came up
you mean in the hangout?
in the hangout. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was with talking with Russian vids.
Russian
Yeah.
beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Cool stuff. Yeah. I have to check your work as well.
Yeah, I mean, you know Spanish, you'll understand it.
Yeah. We'll see in Spanish. Yeah. So later you send me your link or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in fact, I'll just talk in the chat, and you can go to my channel from there.
Yeah. So just in the
I
chat.
just
Nice.
say something now, so.
Yeah. I just want to comment something about what Matthew was saying before about the atoms. Yeah, you're right about light and sound, and yeah. I have this thing when I'm watching the sky through a certain like light mode when it's not very bright, when there's a cloud, and I dim my eyes somehow, and I can see the atoms. Okay, I can see small like bubbles, very small bubbles with tiny like dot in the middle. And if I focus long enough, I see them moving. I don't know, it's hard to describe if someone wants to do it. And then they're moving around, and I can see like small light inside, and they're like dancing in the air. I don't know how it's hard to describe. But yeah, I find it, yeah, it's very, very interesting. About light, it's a big mystery, isn't it? But it's something eternal. So it's one of the energy forces around. So the same with sound. I think these two things are vital, especially for us, how to use them correctly. It's helping a lot.
Oh, well, Matthew's just had to actually drop off. He's got a bit of a happening. So the man that sort of talked about all this stuff, he's had to go, unfortunately. But it was really great to see. It was really great to see him.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Yeah, what he's talking. And last night, Russian beats as well. Yeah, very, very amazing things. So what about this this conference in Birmingham? Karen, what's happening there? This weekend or something there?
Yeah, it's today, tomorrow, and Sunday in Birmingham. And
so it starts today.
Yeah,
starts today.
Oh, that's cool.
Today evening, and then all day tomorrow, and then to a certain time on Sunday. It's all got things planned, and yeah, I don't know the order of when's everybody.
It's gonna be busy. Many people going and that. Or...
I haven't really lately that much myself. Sorry, don't mean to sound awful, but I haven't. Yes, I'm not sure how many people are going.
There must be, like, day one is over, right? Because it's already 10 p.m. there.
Yeah.
So it should
maybe
be
it finishes
over.
at 10.
Then Iru must be there.
Yeah, it has started, so we wish them well.
Yeah.
And hope they have a good weekend. Yeah, Costa's gone now. Anyway, Paul, let's got Oliver here. Was there some things you'd like to ask him then? Paul, where have you gone?
They're all gone.
Yeah, it's all gone quiet. Well, he'll be back in a moment. He might be still working. You know, his family have a petrol station, and so he might be just having to do something there.
I'm here. Here.
Oh, he's there.
Yeah.
So saying you've got Oliver on. So do you want to talk to Oliver then?
No, I'll just thank him for all his videos, and he's such a interesting guy, because there's not much people with open mind to consider this strange phenomena we are living. And just thank you.
Man. Thank you.
And
actually, we'll probably meet in a week or less. So
it'll be great to have a few pints.
Yeah.
And as I told you, Karen, I've been asking to lorry drivers, and they say they never deliver directly to a plane. They have their tanks there, and who knows, they store the petrol there, maybe just for internal use of the buses they have inside the airport. I don't know, but certainly
some airports have tanks under the runways, and where the planes parked up, don't they? That's what they're saying, that the tanks are under the ground.
Yeah, they are under the ground. Yeah, and they load them in the airport, and I don't know, but it's the same thing, petrol is endless, so in one way or the other, the hoax is enormous.
Yeah, Oliver, what's your take on the aeroplanes?
You mean the compressed air theory?
Or no? Yeah.
Well, I've been watching this channel. I think it's called Enslaved by No Media. He's putting out all these videos, and honestly, I don't know. I mean, I think he's wrong in some things when he talks about the true vision that we have, but I think he's right in others. And about the planes, it could be a hoax. I mean, they could be using like half air, half fuel. So, I mean, that definitely needs to be investigated more. And I mean, what seems interesting to me also, what he's saying is the truth, I don't know how he calls it, the truth view side of, I don't know how he calls it. But it's like basically he's saying that everything's closer than we've been told, and that Google Earth is lying about the distances. And also the cameras, they distort. So when you're looking through a camera, you see things further away than they are. And I think there's something interesting there. But I saw, in fact, yesterday that he was doing like a preview of I don't know if it's a documentary or a new video he's going to do with another guy, where he's going to talk about an incredible revelation about this true field
I've
of
seen it.
sight. So I don't know. Let's
I've
see.
seen-
Let's see
I've
what
seen it.
that's about.
It's up now. What it is, you know, when they do those sundogs, you know,
Yeah.
when they've gone on the ski slope and you see this most amazing sundog with all the bubbles in it. He's saying that this is why you can be further away and things look closer, or you can be closer and things are just not there. You can't see them. Maybe the trees, but you're half a mile away. There's the trees. Oh, there's the buildings. So it might be because it depends where that plane or whatever it is fitting in that bubbles, in those bubbles. It sees things differently, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Things can look closer or further away, even though there's bubbles and bubbles and bubbles in that whole weird sundog thing. You know which one I'm talking about on the ski slope. That's sort of
Yeah.
it's like yeah.
Yeah.
He's saying that all that's affecting it. That's the revelation. When you capture,
Maybe that's why when you see high altitude balloons, you don't see any stars at certain altitude. You only see like black sky. Who knows? Right? Because they look very close when you zoom in with the P900 stars. But then when you launch a balloon and you point the camera up, you just see black. You don't see any stars suddenly.
I seen a few with stars in, and I mirrored it and put it on Sun and Moon. Probably, I don't know, about 6-8 months ago. I just couldn't believe that the balloon had gone up. It did see the stars, and the thing is that it was 17 miles up, and there was some stars below it. And then as it was panning around, all the stars were going so fast. It was like being on Star Trek half the time as the camera panned past the stars. It's like, God, those stars are just there. Just there in front of this balloon camera.
So stars below the balloon, you're saying?
Stars below the camera. Yeah, stars below the camera. But it was 17 miles up and there were stars below it. I'm not saying all the stars were below. I'm saying you could see stars below it. It's on Sun and Moon.
Well, I mean, when you zoom into like whatever in the distance, and then you zoom in a star, I mean, it can't be same with the moon. It just can't be thousands of miles away. You wouldn't see that level of detail with the P900. Just impossible, right?
Yeah.
So also it's interesting that in the Bible it says that in the final days all the stars will fall to earth. So that means obviously the stars are much smaller than the earth and closer, right? Wouldn't make sense otherwise. So I find that interesting. Now, I don't know what they are. Maybe they're like, there's also like metallic spheres that have been found all around the earth. Strange metallic spheres that just suddenly appear on the ground. And I don't know if those are the real stars or they're just plasma or energy in the firmament.
Technology we don't know.
Well,
No?
Yeah. Some kind of energy that we just don't understand right now.
Oliver, I wanted to ask you, as you are a lawyer, that's your studies. Am I right?
Yeah.
So this thing with the strawman and to own the corporation of your birth certificate, is this, have you looked this here in Spain? Does it make sense? Is it possible? What do you think?
Oh man, I looked into that like 10 years ago, I think, the birth certificate thing, and honestly I haven't looked into it again. I just, when I started waking up, I guess I just looked into that, and it kind of made sense at the time. I don't know right now. I would have to look at it again and see if it's somehow viable legally to claim that thing, or I don't know. We have to look at it again, honestly.
You mean that when you were younger looking at it, you weren't looking at it like you'd look at it now? So
Right,
you might
right,
look
right.
at it,
Yeah.
at it again.
Yeah.
So what were you looking up then?
No, I looked this stuff. I mean, the birth certificate, all that conspiracy relating to that. But
So what was your finding? Oh, right. You don't want to say right now.
No, I just can't remember all the things. It was kind of like, I mean, I think Santos has touched on this, the whole birth certificate fraud and all that.
Johnny Guzman too.
Right.
And recently I found a channel. His name is Mark Christopher, and he describes it quite well, even though it's only in the States and in UK. And it makes a lot of sense. He says you must use the exact language, because in the way in courts they have this special meaning for words which are not the same. So whenever you want to say something, you might say some other, and that's when you make a mistake. It makes no sense for you. So it's like a way of speaking again, as he describes. His name is Mark Christopher, and he does make a lot of sense. Check out he does webinars and stuff. Maybe he has good things to say. I couldn't do a webinar because I have to work and stuff, but I will when I have time. Even just for curious, because he uses a lot of terminology which is it's true. I mean, it's all Latin, all Greek, etymology with the words, as most of we are realizing. And why not? If we can own our
Yeah, I remember looking into that, and the whole, there was another movement, I think it was like free man on the land and all that, and was basically like removing your ID and like detaching yourself from government ownership somehow.
yeah.
But yeah, it's
Who knows?
it's okay to look into that and see what you can. So I mean, there are lots of terminologies that if you don't study law, you probably will never know.
Yeah, you need a dictionary with you.
They use lots of technicisms to confuse the people, probably.
They use one thing. There's an experiment this Mark Christopher does. Let me check out. Do you see the cube? It's not very well done.
Yeah.
Well, the experiment is keep watching the cube till you start to watch it in a different way, in a different perspective. And this happens if you keep watching the cube constantly. Perspective shifts.
Yeah. Right.
And that's what our conscious mind does the whole time. So we are constantly being fed with messages, subliminal message and chord and such to make us afraid and intimidate us. So like things like what people do in the news, like this or those sort of thing, trying to break your train of thought. They do this a lot, and things like that. It's interesting.
Yes, we have James on from New Zealand, and that's the subject that he talks about, how they're making money out of our fear. It's a money-making thing. Paul, tell
Yeah.
That plays into the whole media thing that they always scare you in the news with terrific, terrible news, tragedies, half of which are hoaxes, like we talked about with Russian vids, like the nuclear hoax, terrorist hoax, all that. Try to scare you with non-existing threats.
Yeah, aliens. Yeah.
Aliens are the next hoax, yeah. Now Trump the other day, he was calling for a space force. In fact, there's an ex-NASA worker, a woman, that she spoke with Werner von Braun, and apparently he said to her that the ultimate threat, like first it was gonna be like the terrorist, then it's gonna be
He's like a woman with the white hair thing.
Yeah. Then it's gonna be the aliens, and they'll have to build space weapons.
Yeah.
So that's what's coming.
Hey, what do you think? Have you heard this guy Sveria? He was Magna Veritas made a video, subtitled a video from him.
Who?
Sveria. His name is written with a bit with letters and a bit with numbers. And he's talking about the vegan. Vegan is also a way to keep us numb. All the vegan way, which is growing more.
Yeah.
It's a way to keep us malnourished.
It's possible. I've seen people claim that, and in fact, I follow some people on Twitter that are carnivores.
Yeah, raw meat.
And they post like studies about this stuff and all that. I mean, they eat veggies. They still eat some vegetables and stuff, but mostly like meat, eggs, butter,
and fish. Yeah.
Some fish and vegetables, but they don't eat carbs. The typical carbs like rice and
bread,
all the grains and all that.
Yeah, he eats barely a kilo of raw meat a day. And
yeah, there's people that, I mean, it also depends on the person, I think. Like, there's some people that are successful maybe with the vegan diet, and others that are successful with the carnivore diet. You just have to try.
Yeah.
Maybe which one. Some people are omnivores. Also, they eat everything and they're okay. So just have to try what fits with your body, I guess.
Recently, my experience has been that after some years of veganism, raw veganism, I came into raw meat, and it's going well.
Wow, I still don't have the guts to try raw meat.
Yeah, at the beginning it's a bit.
I just like cooked meat.
Yeah.
In fact, I like it very cooked. It's just a flavor thing. I just like it. I haven't tried it raw though, so I don't know.
Yeah, it tastes good.
Yeah.
Fine. Completely fine.
Yeah, but you just have to try what works for you, I guess. For example, I've been trying. I found out that like white rice just doesn't suit me for whatever reason. And then I started following these people that eat just meat and stuff, and they talk so badly about grains, specifically rice and all these, like mostly processed grains.
Yeah,
Processed carbs, like those are obviously the worst.
yeah. If you buy bread from Mercadona or any
Oh
supermarket,
no, that's crap.
but when I've seen videos about animals, a lot of animals eat meat in life. In jungles, monkeys eat meat. You know, squirrels even eat meat. Cows, if they can, they will eat a
Ah,
chicken.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's very, and tribes all over the world try to live in the jungle and nature. They do barely eat veggies anytime. You know, they eat meat. They hunt. Eskimos never eat uh, even a fruit in their whole life.
Right.
And they are they reach to long ages, to very old people. And it makes me think. Even seen a video which a woman explains that in a cemetery they had to remove some tombs because they're making changes in, in the building, and they have to remove this tree, and the tree was vigorous and enormous, and they found out uh, with the machines and all that the roots have eaten some bodies. No, it was plants eat meat. That was the point. When you to a carnivorous plant, you give it a piece of meat, it grows enormously just after it. So it's everything. It's everything.
Sorry. It's just sort of amazing.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I mean, people in the past, like for example, they always, if you read the Old Testament, you'll find that.
And we have to eat meat. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, God gave the people meat. They also gave the people seeds and fruit, I guess, like things that grow from the ground. So people used to eat like all kinds of stuff, basically. I mean, even there were some tribes and some moments where they only ate meat. Others, they were only ate bread. Of course, not the bread, not the processed bread, the white processed bread, but probably the Ezekiel bread, right? The true bread, I guess.
Levadura, ¿cómo se dice levadura?
Yes, the sprouted one. Sí, lo estoy pensando, pero no me acuerdo. So, and they also the way they ate the meat, I think it was very. I don't know if they ate it raw though. I think they cooked it, at least in the Old Testament, because lots of times you see where God commands the people to cook the meat because He likes the smell of it, of cooked meat, and then they eat it.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
He also likes the smell of herbs and many other things. So,
Right.
yeah, see.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely something that's possible. The vegan conspiracy, making people vegan, but again, you can't really, unless you try it.
Yeah, unless you
and you actually track the results and all that. I guess it's going to be 50-50, right? Some people are going to claim that veganism is the way, others that carnivore is the way. So
Our bodies are made a bit more for vegetables and things, aren't they?
yeah, that's what some people say.
others
But
say that. Yeah.
I just I think we're made to eat meat. I mean, I enjoy so much eating chicken or meat. I mean, I can't imagine. It's just so good, right? But also some vegetables are a lot. So
there's the point where which this guy is very say that it makes you eating meat makes you feel good just by eating it, like any other animal would feel by doing it, and it's what is nature about. I've I've been vegan for quite a while, and you have always this feeling that is not well. It keeps your stomach buzzy, but it doesn't make you feel well as a glass of pure milk from directly from the cow without processed. And you know, for all the millions of people who are there listening to us right now, have a look on this. Make change. There are some people that claim that they have cured some illnesses by eating meat again, sclerosis and stuff. Just check this guy, the Milky Jar. I think he was in. There's a video of this long-haired man eating raw meat just in front of some vegetarians and in New York somewhere. And it's something to see because the vegetarian it goes mad after the guy eating raw meat, and because of no reason. You see, the street is public, and it's
Actually, I'm just thinking about. It just came to mind what God allows to eat in the Old Testament,
yeah.
which some religions follow literally, and he says some like you can't eat in the Old Testament pork, for example, and I mean you can eat fish, but not. What was it? Not fish that, for example, like the sea plants and all that, and certain kinds of sea animals you can't eat either.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if he mentions like fruits and vegetables.
They were not supposed
that
to be.
list. You know the list I'm referring to, where he starts to say like you can eat this and that, but not pork, not.
Yeah, some animals which are.
I don't think he mentions vegetables right there.
No, maybe they were not supposed to be eaten. That's why.
I just thought about that. Like I never thought about that. But he also doesn't say don't eat them. So it's like he ignores them completely in that list. So you have to kind of make your own conclusion there. Because he also gives some things that grow from the ground to people in the Old Testament. Like I read it some weeks ago, literally.
Yeah, roots and plants to heal you. Of course, there are
right
plants and remedies to pains. Of course.
Right. Yeah, but it's definitely like the Bible definitely doesn't encourage veganism. Like it's not that it doesn't encourage it. It doesn't prohibit eating meat. Prohibits eating certain meat like pork and some others. But it certainly doesn't say don't eat meat. It's bad.
Yeah.
That's the point there. But it also doesn't say don't eat vegetables. So
you get vegetarians that eat white meat, don't they? Like they'll eat fish or chicken and stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean vegetarians, yes, but like vegans?
No, it's too much. I ain't gone that step far. I'm not even a vegetarian. I'm half a vegetarian, so I eat a lot less meat products than I used to. But I find it difficult to drop out of my diet.
You find difficult to drop out animal protein, maybe, right? I mean, I couldn't live with I would just starve to death without. Well, I guess I would find some substitute, but I would find it extremely hard to drop animal protein. I would at least have to eat eggs, probably.
The substitute is Soylent Green. The tofu and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen some studies and even carnivores that say that fermented soy can be okay. It's just the typical soy, all these soy products that are bad, like for the estrogen levels and all that, apparently. So I don't know. I experimented with the soy, like for example, soy yogurts and all that, soy milk, and it didn't seem to. I don't know. I think it wasn't good for my overall health, like energy. That's just my experience.
I agree with that. That's my main concern, is like the health side of things. Like I don't want to be a vegan if it's not the way for your body, kind of thing.
Right, because I think there's two kind of people that two kind of vegan. One that it's like for animal rights and all that, like the ideological, and others that claim that it's actually the healthiest way to eat.
With animal rights, if everybody were vegan, then you wouldn't be having all these dairy products, so you wouldn't keep cows, and what would happen to all livestock, So if, in a profit-based world, if you got rid of the meat industry, then they're not going to look after them somewhere ever, They're not just going to release them into wild either. It'd be like the end of cows in England.
Right. There would be no point in having cows.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I mean, if you take aside that this was a living animal, and in fact, to be honest, we're like the herd of cows as well. They treat us like the animals, really. The way they treat us, this whole thing, the flat earth, the lies, everything. So you've got the animal that was living, that's one thing. But I just struggle to eat lumps of chicken and things now. I do eat the meat a bit.
You like my mother. She's vegetarian. She can't eat. But I think why can't you eat? Is it like you think it's gonna like upset your body or something if you eat it?
No. If you take away that it is a living animal anyway, and you wouldn't want to be treated that way, how they treat them nowadays, or how they ever treated them. But it's what they put in it, like, are you actually really eating a proper piece of meat or something they stuffed chemicals in?
Oh yeah, that's another one. That's the quality of the meat. That's full. Most commercial chicken is full of hormones. But again, also all the soy products and vegan products are full of GMOs and other garbage. And the sugar-free products have sugar substitutes, which are worse than sugar, like sucralose, aspartame. So,
as I'm coming into eating meat again, I'm going to a butcher in my hometown, and I asked him if he can put his burger meat without the conservants that they have to put by law. And he said, "Yeah, okay, I put for you a part. You can reach, and it's totally fine. And there's a way. I mean, as long as you don't go to the big markets, which are machines, all over the place. And it is done by law. Conservants and all this, they have to put it, even though the meat that they get, it's normal. They have to add these things because if they don't do this, raw meat will go bad and so on.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I dropped is sugar completely. Like anything that has sugar, I don't eat anymore. And because it's really addictive, sugar. I used to have like 1 yogurt a day with sugar, and it's really addictive.
Yeah, that's true.
Now I have as a substitute a bit of honey, which is way better than sugar.
Fine. berries and these things too. Pigs.
Can I say something? I was married to a farmer, and basically the supermarkets, the reason that everything is the way it is because of the supermarkets. They're the ones that said how the meat should be, whatever, no fat.
Yeah. And some fat is good. Some fat is necessary.
Yeah.
Also, these people also talk about studying some days to clean your body. That's everything is fine with that. To fast someday, a day a week, and in those days you should drink juices to clean yourself. It's all a matter of balance and to feel your body and to be well and to know that there is plenty of animals here on Paradise Earth for us to live from.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's acidic. Meat is very acidic.
That's the acidic and the alkaline thing. It also maybe a hoax too. I find difficult to understand that the most alkaline thing is an acidic fruit. Lemon, it's so acid, it becomes alkaline.
Yes.
Yeah, someone is saying in the chat, check the honey and make sure it does not crystallize. If it does, it means it has sugar. That's true, actually, because I bought the other day a kind of typical commercial honey that you find in the supermarket, like white labeled stuff. And it definitely, I knew it had sugar. You can just tell it is half sugar, half whatever. And then I bought another more expensive one, kind of organic honey or whatever it was, and it did taste very different. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is one thing. Bees are amazing. There's a therapy called apipuncture that it's very expensive, and people go to get bee stings in pain areas. And beekeepers in Russia have been considered the people who live longer. See? And what Oliver says is completely true. The more white the honey is, the purer it is. More pure. And if you have the chance to grow a beehive, do it. Even if it hurts sometimes. It's good for your skin. Women, it's good for your skin. A lot of actresses and they're getting an age and they don't want to use Botox and stuff, and they use the bee things in their faces. Yeah.
Yeah.
It hurts, but it works.
Have to be brave to do that, eh? It's like eating raw meat.
Yeah, it's like a bear. You have to be a bear. No, you have to. It takes a bit of un poco de will. It takes a bit of will to go there and.
Bit of balls.
See. I have an uncle who has bees, and he laughs about me because I have gone with him sometime and I run like hell. No, at the end they bite me and I feel thankful for these bites of the bees. But at the beginning, I feel scared as a kid, as a boy.
Yeah, it looks scary.
Mm. Yeah.
Costa came on, or Costa's at the moment. What did you want to talk about? You said you had a few things you wanted to say.
Yes, basically some words again. I get etymology of words. But yeah, it's another subject. Yeah. Shall we change the subject? We're talking about food and stuff. Okay, I wanted to add a bit about the nutrition. Yeah, it's all, we need to like divide the stuff that like oils, for example. I think good oils is very important, like virgin olive oil, for example, of course, and some oil you have here in rapeseed oil. Here in England, there's a very good one. It's cold press organic rapeseed oil. It's really good. I don't know if have you tried, Karen?
What did you say again? Rapeseed oil.
Yes, but the organic one, the cold press, it's like it's a bit orange color or something like that. Very nice.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about using orange oil all the time.
Yeah,
it's got good properties in it, hasn't it? And if you guys don't know, rapeseed's massive here.
Yes,
rapeseed
exactly.
oil.
I didn't know, and I was in a kitchen, and one chef told me to try it, and we had it in the kitchen, and yeah, it's very good, very healthy.
Costa's a chef as well, aren't you, Costa?
Yeah. So, and it also has a very good smoke point. I mean, if you heat it up, it's better than olive oil. You know, when you heat up the olive oil, it destroys all the good vitamins and stuff.
Do you use it lots then?
So what do you cook with coconut oil or?
Coconut oil is good as well. Yeah, coconut oil is good. But this is a rapeseed oil. This English type. It's really good. I don't know if you have it in Spain.
I don't know what it's called honestly in Spanish.
Yeah, I don't know the name either in Spanish.
That's much better than olive oil then.
Huh?
Costa,
you think that's a lot better than olive oil then?
No, not a lot better. It's close. Yeah, it's the nutritional value is there. It's very close, but it has some more. You know, the what are they called? You know that the fish have this like salmon. What is the oil? I forget now. Omega 3. Yeah.
Liver oil has always said it's great.
Yeah, that liver oil as well. Yeah, the liver. Yeah, that one. That one is very good. That's good for you not to get sick. It's good for the winter.
Good for your teeth.
Yes, that's very.
For your heart as well. It's been said that that Eskimos that for some reason come to the south.
Yeah.
If they don't have this oil, they die like any other.
Really? Yeah. Yeah, I remember somebody told me they used to give to the people back in Cyprus, back in the old days. The English people brought it to Cyprus, and they used to drink like 1 spoon a day, and they didn't get sick in the winter time. It's very good for your immune system. But yeah, I think oils generally have I mean, it's important for the body. It's not just the meat or vegetables. You know what I mean. Also, what you drink, like water or even wine or these things. So these categories, I think oils are very, very crucial. I find it and important, and when to drink it, how to drink, and how to use it when you are cooking. So I propose this rapeseed oil. I find it very, very nice, very tasty. It's very light because it doesn't have acid inside. The problem with olive oil it's a bit acidic. It has a 0.1% or something acid. So if you just try a spoon of olive oil, just pure olive oil, you find your throat burning.
Yeah.
It's a small burn. You can feel that burn from the acid. But this this oil doesn't have anything. The rapeseed is more pure. So
I'll try.
yeah, try if you find it. You can find it. Try it. It's very good. Also for cooking, it's better.
Sorry, I interrupt. I just want to
Yes.
say that I have to go now. So
Okay, Oliver.
Oh, thanks for coming on, Oliver.
Thanks for coming.
thanks to you and nice to meet you. And see you, Paul.
See you in Valencia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to meet each other?
Yeah, there's a Spanish kind of congress or conference or like a meeting, Flat Earth, in Valencia, which is a city kind of close to Barcelona.
Brother Fix.
Yeah, it's on the 3rd of May, so in next Thursday.
Yay! Well, I'm really glad that you're going to meet each other. That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, send us some picture or something, or let us know. Yeah, when you
Sure.
go. Yeah, when you come up, let us know what happened. Yeah, nice one.
Sure.
Enjoy it.
Thanks.
Yeah, photo together.
Hello.
Thank you, Oliver.
I think there'll be some interesting people there. Okay, see you guys.
Bye.
Thank you, Oliver.
Bye.
Thanks.
All the
Bye.
best.
Bye, darling. Can I just ask Paul something?
Yeah.
Paul, Malk's in the chat room, my friend, and he's torn his ligaments in his, he's stretched or like torn his ligaments in his knee. Is there any exercises or something he can do?
Torn, I mean, he can walk.
Yeah, but they've sort of said he's not to bend his leg.
In water, can he go to the pool? Water is always very helpful. To the swimming pool, I say.
What, just to float, you mean?
Yeah, I'm doing a small exercise, swimming exercise, small at the beginning and the harder later, because as we all know, you are very weightless in water, as in space. So this helps a lot. It will definitely help. And eating, maybe he should eat more protein. Don't know if he's vegetarian or not, but maybe some change will help. I'm feeling right now experiencing with this change in eating meat benefits in health. I mean, I am more calm than I can do many work. As you know, I'm a juggler, and I have to practice a lot. I want to practice a lot. You see, I am enjoying and I'm thriving from 4 balls to 5 balls, and it takes a lot of effort. And I really experienced that I was doing I was juggling being a vegetarian, and I've been shifting to eating meat, keeping my juggling. And with meat, I have a bit, but not a bit. I have more energy, more concentration, and just my experience. You find out yourselves.
So what, you were a vegan, not a vegan now?
Yeah. Raw eggs.
And you're eating raw meat?
Raw meat, raw eggs, raw milk, raw fish.
Really? How long have you been doing that for then, on the fish?
For a month, month or maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, it caught my attention, the fact that it was all raw, and as a vegan, I went raw vegan, and I liked it much more than macro veganism and these other ways. And I started from there, and I felt good. And I also take, MMS, the miracle sodium chloride. I also take it, and from time to time, because I wash my teeth with that, and it helps in many other things. And it's that simple.
Oh, what does raw fish taste like? Just asking.
Yeah, it tastes good. Yeah, I like salmon and tuna. Yeah, great. And raw meat also tastes great. Yeah, all animals prefer meat to any other thing. If you give a chicken to try, it will go for meat like crazy. My girlfriend she's a bit not into this, but she has to admit that eating meat again, because she's been vegan for a long time, she feels better in a way. It's something to think about, because a lot of people I know from yoga places, they've been vegan for many years, and just saying this, I know how mind changing again could be, but if common sense is used again, maybe it's another shift we can make, for ourselves. If also it's your choice, and of course animals and industrial lack of moral is horrendous.
So does your girl?
What?
We've just lost Costa. I'm saying, does your girlfriend do it then?
She's been a vegan a lot of time, yeah, too.
Okay. Is there any bit of feedback there? Is there anything else with hands-on that you could tell Malk, or just basically?
I wanted to tell you about Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here are a few you might want to do a screenshot of my face doing this position. This is for your site. Place one hand here. If it's the opposite, the better. And the other one in the back of the neck, where your skull ends, right there. You see? One hand there, the other there. This is great for your sight. As I've said other times, you create a channel of energy between your both hands, and it releases tension from your eyes. Your eyes relax. And then, of course, the other way around. If people in the chat want to make a screenshot for your site.
I'm doing it.
Watching the screen the whole time is dreadful. I thought about another one the hands in your groins. Placing both hands in your groins is, if you do it you are able to do it for 10 minutes. It's amazing. It's a delicate point, okay? The groins are someplace intimate place, and maybe because is that the reason that is so energetic. You place them in your whenever you want, or whenever you can. You start to feel some warm, but it's not really warm. Something. You tell me what it is.
A bit like euphoria or something.
What? Didn't hear that.
A bit like euphoria or something. You know, you just get this.
Yeah, it's something. Definitely, there's something there. Ether, who knows? You're charging yourself, and to make it clear. Also, for your eyes is as Aldous Huxley even wrote a book about this. Is the art of seeing. He was very bad sighted. You know, the man who wrote A Brave New World. He and the island. He had not a very good sight, so he went to a place, the Bates method for sight, and they all teach that we should do at least 2 or 3 times a day this, which is give darkness to our eyes. You know, for a while, it's called palming, and I do recommend this very well, very precisely after doing sun gazing. If you do sun gazing, do palming just after, and you have full light and then full darkness. Great. Any other?
Yeah. Sorry, carry on.
Well, which other things? You can ask me any other things that you may want to ask about.
Just does those things like help Malk as well, because he can do that to himself. It's all about calming yourself and
but
healing yourself.
Follow these steps. They are not all that difficult. For his knee, maybe the point 1 in this ancient art is called Jinshin Jitsu again. The point 1 is hands under your knees. There are 26 points. One, it's called the motor of life. It's under your knees. So experience it for a while. Put your hands under your knees, like this, but if you cross them, the better, and just check out. It's for free.
Yeah, he's going to struggle a little bit because he doesn't like sitting still.
I'm going to repeat myself again. This guy, Dirk Hammer, you have to check out the new German medicine, because he steps in the emotional reason for illnesses. Something has happened in this man's life that made him this trouble with his knee. This must be some stressful thing that happened to him, and it's there where it is located. And this pain is the member itself, the organ
He
trying.
slipped.
Yeah.
Paul, he slipped. And when he slipped, it just did what it did.
Yeah. Oh, that's completely possible too.
What he was doing was he thought he was saving the wood, and he hurt his leg at the same time. But he'd rather have not saved the wood.
So he fell. No, it was an accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sort of like his leg slipped, and he tried to save the wood, and at the same time, because his leg went so stretched out, it did something.
Yeah. Well, rest is the main thing. Pain also is a good sign. I mean, if there's trouble and I don't know, I wish I had
Pain's
more.
a good thing.
Yeah, something is changing for the good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really? Really?
Yeah, really.
Can
You
I
know,
just say something?
Go on,
Yeah.
Patricia.
So you're saying that pain is good, your body's changing for the good. Does that mean all the pain that I'm getting, I'm going to turn into a unicorn or something really nice? A butterfly or something?
I don't know.
Joke, by the way.
Haha. What is your main points of pain, Patricia?
What's my what?
Sorry, Patricia, we didn't hear you.
Either it's cutting out.
He was saying, what is your pain? Sorry, so what is it again, Paul? You said, is her pain? Where is her pain? What is her pain? What is wrong with you? Basically, I think.
So you're cutting
Wow,
out.
that sounds horrible.
Okay.
Sorry, I said what is wrong with you, but you're not. You're lovely. So what is this thing that's happening in you, Patricia? What is it you've got? Patricia?
Yeah.
What?
You keep cutting out. Oh, gone.
Karen?
Oh, are you still there?
Yeah, I am here. Tell me.
What was the question again?
Yeah, I hear you.
Keep cutting out.
What?
Hello?
Hello, Patricia.
I thought I was talking to myself. Hi, Lev. Where's everyone gone?
Are you back, Karen? Oh,
So I got thrown off then.
welcome back.
Yeah, that was a bit weird, really, because I thought something just went blunk. Sorry, carry on.
I was trying to work out what Paul was saying. Couldn't hear him. It kept breaking up.
Yeah,
Then you
you were.
disappeared, and then I can't hear.
Is Paul there then?
I'm here. I'm trying to understand Patricia there.
So
No
you
one
you
can
just
understand me.
say it again, Paul.
Because I don't understand quite well the way she talks, the way you talk, Patricia. But maybe it's your accent, or I just don't get your words. That's all.
So what is it?
Oh, you mean changing into a unicorn?
I mean,
What it is? She's in a lot of pain, Paul,
Yeah.
every day. And you said pain's good. So she was saying, well, I really hope that after going through all this pain, I'm going to turn into something beautiful like a butterfly or a unicorn.
yeah. I don't know if it goes in that way, but pain is a sign that you are healing in some way. Yeah. Changes are. Yeah, maybe. Have you tried weed? Do you? Maybe that can calm you and flow with it. I don't know. My mother also, she's 80 years now, and she has a lot of pains in her hands and in her legs. And who knows? What can we do when?
Patricia has that all over her body. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
So Patricia. Yeah, Patricia's in pain like that all day.
Patricia, have you tried sodium chloride? I've heard a lot of good things about it. Have you tried it?
Sodium chloride?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, well, try it. It's cheap. You can buy it online everywhere, maybe some shop. It's also called MMS. This guy has, he's a nickname called Jim Campbell. Check out just put Jim Campbell on Google and you find out. There are two bottles, and you have to add from each bottle. First time you take them a few drops, maybe 2 or 3, and keep adding one more drop till you reach 20 drops of each bottle, and wait for 40 seconds till the mixture gets activated, and then add some water and drink it. Do this for a month, and a lot of parasites in the body, most parasites will disappear. You feel in your skin, it's really an experience. And it also, the only thing is you may feel a bit numb first when the more drops you reach, but you go to bed and that's it. It tastes very not nice, but it's only you swallow it. That's it. It's that simple. MMS have cured malaria. There's a lot of videos and even witnesses that say that the Red Cross was making difficulties to reach people and suspicious things about it. There's a lot of information. Sodium chloride.
Well, is this to make her feel better then?
What?
Is it to make her feel better then doing this?
Yeah.
She's in a lot. She's in a lot of pain.
It goes for your. I've heard also cases of sclerosis and many things. Check out. I just recently buy a book, and I'm reading as fast as I can, and the sooner I know more things, I will tell you. But it can do lots of things. Even I heard army uses MMS in pills whenever they go to foreign countries to avoid viruses, strange viruses. They have this one pill and forget everything. It's this simple. It's this simple nowadays.
Do you think you'll try that then, Patricia?
Sodium chloride here in Spain, it's easy to buy. It's not no more than 20 euros. So don't pay more than that. And with autism, it has cured
I'm going to go down some different routes first, I think. I'm taking CBD oil.
Repeat, please.
She's taking what? Sorry, Patricia. What is it again?
That's CBD oil. That's cannabis.
Yeah, that's it.
Oil,
CBD oil in capsules.
Well,
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to say it, but yeah. I'm taking the capsules at the minute.
Are they working, Patricia, at all?
I know.
No,
You
no.
never
Are
know,
these
do you?
capsules? Are the capsules working at all?
The problem I've got at the minute, I'm scared to stop taking the other tablets because when I've stopped taking, even just for like on a month, it was sort of instantaneously, and it'd last for maybe a couple of hours. So I don't know how this actually works, whether it takes hours to work. So I was probably panicking. I don't know. I really need a bit of help.
Chris, you're breaking up a little bit there.
Connection tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit of a weird sort of. It threw me out. Yeah, she had to have some other tests, and they took her off all the medication. Maybe we know medication's not very good for us, but she's in quite a lot of pain. She's got some rheumatoid thing going on in there. Oh, here she is.
Another
Patricia.
Can I say something?
Go.
Another important thing that happened that no news were involved in this is that MMS, sodium chloride, has cured in Spain 400 autist children. You know? It has cured autism. You can find out in YouTube MMS curing autism. There are several videos about it.
Yeah, autism.
And mothers, spreading them as all they can, their experience.
So you're saying it might just help somehow heal somehow?
Yeah, it has many applications. Really, it's something I didn't know. I firstly didn't believe, and I had to admit now. Just my advice is please check out and test it yourself, because it's something you won't need toothpaste in any way. There is also several ways to apply it. and even you will start to know things about chemistry, because what I found out with MMS is that applied with another substance which is called DMSO, which stands for dimethyl sulfoxido. It's something that where medical in hospitals they put the organs in this liquid because it maintains them. And if you apply them to your mouth after the MMS, and then you apply MMS again, you clean them in such a way that it gets whitened and you feel it, because the other product is corrosive but slightly. So it's something they use, it's commonly used in chemistry for to preserve organs which are going to be transplanted to another person and so on. And if you ask to your chemist shop, they will like, what do you want that for? You see? They will ask, do you know what that is about? They have asked me that way. And it's enlightening. Nature-wise.
Thank you for that, Paul. I'm not sure if Patricia's going to try that or not. I did ask her. She's still muted. Costa's back.
Yeah. Hi there. Hi, I missed you. You're talking what you are talking about, Paul?
Helping Patricia maybe with some pain, or just helping her make her feel better, or just putting something else in her body.
Yeah.
I hope she doesn't mind me saying this. She doesn't digest her food very easily either. Will that help with that?
What are her main foods? What does she eat?
I don't
I'm
know,
here, you
Patricia.
know.
Patricia, what do you eat daily?
I'm a vegetarian, but I do eat. I don't know. I've got what I did. I had some. No, I'll start again. I had some tests last year because I lost a lot of weight and I was struggling to eat properly. And they said that I've got chronic endocarditis, apparently it makes you constipated. And they said that basically, because I've told them that I donated, so they won't give me the treatment. So basically, anything I eat isn't going to digest it. I don't know exactly, because they've not really talked me through it or anything, what, if there is anything that's digestible.
No.
Can't quite know.
I would suggest you to eat a few days, 2 or 3 days, eat raw meat and organs to, liver. And if you want to raw eggs, raw food is easier to digest and it has all the nutrients. Many studies of Kirlian camera show raw aliments have much more energy. And just give a try. Just give a try. Why not? Add the MMS for a few weeks and feel very good changes. Guaranteed.
I feel sick just thinking about it. No.
Doesn't really like eating meat.
Yeah, but even if it hurts, you know, it's something that goes. You know, we should be caring
Yeah.
of more of we people, not of course animals. We should love them. We must, but it's we people. We have to take care of.
Hmm. Are you, Costa, are you a meat eater or are you vegetarian or? Costa?
I'm vegetarian basically. Yeah, a little bit of fish sometimes. But yeah, since I came to England, I became vegetarian.
Hmm.
Yeah. I
But you
was a
don't mind
bit
cooking?
before. Yeah, I was doing it before, like on and off sometime.
You don't mind
But yeah,
cooking meat though?
but no, well, since I came, I stopped eating meat.
But you don't mind cooking meat?
Cooking, I cook, yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't like it. But what can I do? It's my job. But yeah, you see, yeah, what kind of quality? Okay, here the beef is good at least, and the pork, only that chicken is not good. I don't know. Fine chicken is like fake. Doesn't seem right. Yeah.
Hmm. 1 second,
Yeah, the way
Patricia.
they process it, yeah, until they instead of taking out the feathers, normally they just put everything in some hot water with some chemicals to take out the stuff. No, it's everything goes in. No, I'm not. I stopped the meat eating. Yeah, it's like it tracks you down. It's like a materialistic thing. It makes you want to pleasures of the flesh. Flesh attracts flesh and all that. But I think that the oil thing is interesting because what is oil? I mean, how come the vegetables have oil inside, like olives or rapeseeds or all that stuff? It means that we have some kind of oil inside us, isn't it? I find it interesting. After I saw that talk about the sacred oil, the Christ oil we have inside us, and all the symbolism with Christ and the oil, because anointed with oil, Christ. It's very very common, and even in church you have this one of the because I'm Christian Orthodox, okay, but back in Cyprus it's the Orthodox faith. So one of the seven mysteries we call them mysteries in the church. One of the seven is that you get christened with oil, except the one you get when you are baptized. There's a special service that they chant, they do it's a whole night service, and then the priest puts a cross of oil, creates olive oil on your forehead, right where the third eye is. So I find it very symbolic, and also when we put a cross, so we put one on the forehead, then in the solar plexus, and then on the shoulders. So I think that also has to do with raising the Christ within. So if you do the diet, the special fasting diet, when the moon is in your sign, once a month when your moon sign is in the beginning of the moon phase, and you follow that diet. It helps to raise the oil. So yeah, I think that oil is something sacred, and it's inside of us somewhere, and it has a function. Like why do all these plants or seeds have oils? Yeah, it's interesting. I find it interesting.
Yeah, it's a funny old thing, rapeseed, though, isn't it? And then before you can turn it into oil, so it has these beautiful flowers on
Yes,
there.
yeah, the
And
yellow,
then
bright, yeah.
fields of these flowers, and then suddenly flowers die, the pods come out, then they go black, and the whole field goes black.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so beautiful around Wilshire. You know, that area has a lot. When you go now, it's maybe in a few, not now, maybe later. It's after in the summer. It's beautiful. You know what is that? The White Horse. Have you seen the White Horse in Wiltshire?
Yeah, Marlborough one.
On the Marlborough, yeah, there's one. I think there are 2 or 3 around there. There's one in Marlborough as well.
The oldest one's supposed to be near Oxford. For a lot of people, I don't know if other countries get these, but amongst all these pyramids and stone circles and long barrows, on the side of a lot of hills, I put it in a video on Sun and Moon, there are chalked out horses all over the
those
place.
ones. Yeah, the big horses. Yeah, in Wiltshire.
Some of them, well, whatever we believe, but thousands of years old, right?
Yeah,
and they're obviously, again, probably to be seen from the sky.
Yeah, you could see from the sky. Yes, yeah, it's so big.
Yeah.
What about
So there's
crop circles?
Reading, which is in
What do you
Berkshire,
think?
down past into probably just into Somerset, but especially Wiltshire
Berkshire.
are these horses everywhere.
Yeah,
in the hills.
Berkshire.
Yeah,
Okay.
Berkshire as well.
Okay, I'll have a look. Yeah, and it goes back a long time. It must be very old.
Yeah. One day we'll put all the bits together to know what this is all about.
yeah. What about the crop circles?
Well, years ago, Hungerford got a fake one, but it looked quite good. But I've been out near Avebury and I've been those hunting. And this one day, it was amazing. And this one circle, it was in the field.
Yeah.
And then, like, a few roads met each other. So there's a little triangle of grass in the middle where the roads. And then it went on there. And it also went on the other side of the road now to the bank. So it went across the road. And then wherever it hit land, you know, like grass, then it was there. And it's like, oh my goodness.
You saw it live?
Yeah, yeah, it was a few years ago now, but yeah, we found loads.
Wow.
All round Silbury Hill and Avebury. There are other places as well. They probably get the most.
Yeah, they got the most around there. Yeah.
I mean, when you're in them, because obviously whenever they show them to you, they're always showing you looking down and saying, well, man could make that. But quite amazing if it is man-made when you're actually on the ground in it. Because you can't see some of it.
It looks like also
you can't see the extra bits.
Like 3D,
so
it's very hard.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's very hard for man-made.
The grass has been platted from underneath. So it's like the grass is the wrong way round. And it's kind of been heated.
Yeah, heated, yeah.
So it's all a bit like strange.
Yeah.
Paul, do you get any in Spain?
No, we don't. But I've seen things that make me believe that they are all man-made. No, just to
Right.
no, they have. I don't know what technology they have, but there's a video which shows that it can be done in an hour or so with good
Really?
GPS, people very organized. It could be. It could be done. So
Right. Okay.
I don't know. I've seen crop circles of in the shape of Hello Kitty and things like that, which are laughable. No, of brands. No, have you seen those?
What was that word again? I wasn't quite sure if I understood it.
There are crop circles in the shape of merchandising brands, popular brands, of T-shirts or whatever.
Oh.
Like the Illuminati symbolism, you mean? Like the triangles and the
No, actually,
sacred geometry.
actually, maybe a T-shirt mark, like do you know this thing they sell for children, Hello Kitty? It's a cat, a Japanese cat.
The animations, the
Yeah.
manga.
In that way, so it makes me think that it's man-made in a very spectacular way, of course. But if they can make that fake all the, if David Copperfield can make us believe he flies, but even though we know he doesn't. We probably have other things. There is a video in which he was an actor in Hollywood, and now he does documentaries, and he shows this that a crop circle could be done in an hour with proper people having GPS very well synchronized and a shape which is a triangle, Illuminati symbolism, and of course, I've talked to people and they appear suddenly by night, even raining. So it's very, very mysterious. Thank you.
Yeah.
I suppose you made me think a bit about the mirrors, how magicians like him can make things disappear or whatever, and they're really there, but you can't. It's like, wow. Well, imagine what they're doing to us then.
Yeah, maybe they have druids knowledge and they know how to make spells on us in this way. Who knows? Because England, that place is full of ancient magic tradition, like Merlin and all the round table people. A lot of wizards in your country, banshees and unexplainable stuff. Hey, you people!
Yeah.
Has any of you?
No, I've not really.
Sorry.
Go on, Paul.
Have you tried ayahuasca? Ayahuasca.
No.
Yeah, that's something definitely you all must. It's something no one can tell you about. It's a thing, amazing thing.
You tried, Paul? You tried?
Yeah, I've tried. I regularly go. I've been a year without going, and and I'm coming back. And this
Where about?
here in Spain, they brought the drink from Brazil,
Okay.
and it's a drink. You take one, and after 40 minutes, you start to feel it's like a lucid dream, but because you feel literally you are going out of your body and other dimensions, and
Yeah.
and it's full of wisdom there and full of things you want to discover about yourself. It's a lot of this matter. Some say it's the final emotional healing. Something
Yeah. It's
in a
like
way,
a
it's like a mushroom, like magic mushrooms,
yeah.
but deeper,
Deeper. Yeah. But you need like a shaman to explain to you, to
Yeah,
guide
yeah.
you.
We go. There's a Christian branch in Brazil,
With-
which they sing the whole night, and this singing is guiding you. The singing
Yeah.
is making an anchor of your trip, of your experience, because you are the whole time. If you can, you sing with them. It's easy, and you repeat. And if you don't, you just listen, and you feel very protected.
Good. Yeah.
And so you have your. I would say it's a baptism. Yeah.
Baptism. Yeah.
Yeah, baptism.
Yeah, I heard people doing it, and they describe that they feel the presence of the goddess, like of the earth, the goddess. It's like she's like a woman, like a serpent.
Nobody's experience is the same. So
No experience the same. Yeah.
what you really feel after is a deeper communication with plants and animals
Yeah.
in a way you just can't control. You can't control, and it's overwhelming for the good. For the good.
Yeah, definitely. It's very, probably one of the best stuff. Yeah.
Maybe
Connection to nature.
I heard there are groups in Ireland.
In Ireland.
And if
Okay.
there are groups in Ireland, there are groups in England. I know there are groups in Holland, and this thing is called Santo Daime. I will place a link. Santo Daime, but there are many other branches which shamans, not all are Christian. So basically, Santo Daime is quite it's safe, completely safe, and it might look like like a bit of brainwash, a religious brainwash. But it's not. You always have your exit door, and this has been for me. I go and go out, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful, people.
Yeah. There's a famous author here in England that says about that. Graham Hancock. You heard about him?
No, maybe.
Yeah, he describes his experience, and he's very, very positive about it.
Yeah, it also.
Yeah.
There are moments, I must warn you, there are moments of fear. You in those stages, you ask yourself of the nature of things, and it goes deep. even in these places, some people, I mentioned flat earth stuff, and even people in these places, they are not all open to this. So I found it strange because it was mind clearing for me and heart cleaning too. Anyway, if you have managed to see the flat earth, you must try ayahuasca.
Okay, definitely. I have to check. Yeah, I have to check some place and then let you know before I go. Yeah, 'cause I want to make sure that it's a good one because
Yeah, if you will feel like asking me, I can tell you this. I've tried several branches. I've also tried El Camino Rojo, which is the red path. They mix
yeah.
ayahuasca and peyote, and
Okay.
it's also amazing. Amazing. These things must be taken with great care and in a very safe place, if possibly in the nature, surrounded with a good bonfire and like ancient Indians did, and probably our ancestors did. The Druids here in Europe, they knew all the plants, what they do, how to communicate with the spirits. And
Yeah, here they had another kind of
yeah,
this brew.
there is the same effect you have it with different plants here in Europe. It's some
Yeah,
plants you can find the same effect. But ayahuasca is going quite available nowadays, even here in Europe. They are even trying in even given to the in prisons for prisoners to heal themselves. Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Is it a
Yeah,
nice drink?
the spirit of ayahuasca is back to heal the earth. Yeah, it's very powerful.
Yeah, it is. It is. It
Lev,
shows
what did you? So Lev, what did
does
you
it
say?
taste like? Ayahuasca.
how it tastes. It
Yeah,
tastes
yeah.
awful. It's
Yeah, it's very bad.
worst taste ever.
Does it
Yeah,
make you sick?
yeah. It makes you feel it going inside, and it's terrible. It's terrible. But you can drink a bit of water after. But if you don't drink water, better. And if you make you feel, you probably vomit at the end, and it's okay. It's fine. It's a sacred vomit. And if you vomit, it's the end of it, and it's a flight, a flight.
How long does it usually last? Like the experience?
Last time was 4 months ago, or 5 months. Not for, yeah, 4 months or so. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, it's maybe it's also allowing yourself to go mad for a while, because emotions in this state of being arise, and if it's necessary for you, you won't be able to control them till a point. You Many things arise. You laugh, you cry, you babble like a baby. First times it happened to me in that way. And in some ways, you'll enter a different space. Different space. There,
Right.
The strange thing is how it's done. Yeah, it's like a plant, like a green leafy plant mixed with a kind of like a vine root or something boiled together.
Yeah, two plants. Ayahuasca is the
Yeah,
mixture.
two plants. Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
ayahuasca itself, which is a root, a hanging
The
root,
root. Yeah.
and chacruna, which is a small plant, a green plant, which is the activated.
Yes, yeah. And it's strange because in the Amazon they have like hundreds of thousands of species, but they somehow knew that if you mix these two together, you get this effect. It's like
Yes, plants
yeah.
are talking to us. Yeah.
They are talking. Yeah, they were talking to the people. Yeah, those tribes. Yeah, the Mexicans, in the Amazon, around the Amazon. Yeah, they knew this stuff.
Yeah, I
Coyote
suppose
and the,
we all did, didn't we? Wherever we were, but we don't anymore. Up here,
yeah,
over here.
over here they used to do it in Greece, in ancient Greece, the Eleusinian mysteries. Eleusinian mysteries. They used to take something similar. They all have to pass this initiation. All those philosophers, the ancient philosophers had to pass through that initiation ceremony. It was a big thing back then. And also others like Julian the Apostate. Remember Santos was saying about him, and Marcus Aurelius. Yeah, they passed through this. There's a whole procedure, but they didn't just go there like that. It was a lifetime thing. They only did it once in their life, I think, and was to go to the underworld, to the Hades, to meet the spirit world, to understand what it's like, so they can help to preach and to teach. Sorry, about the wisdom of God and all that. And that brew was kind of barley, like a fermented barley, but left over till it became like a mold or something. I'm not exactly sure how it was, but they mixed barley, but left over till it became like a mold or something.
Trouble. See you.
Hello.
Something's happened. Trouble. I think we can hear you in the background here. She's muted now. Hi, Trouble.
Hi,
Yes.
Trouble.
Hello.
She'll be back in a minute. Maybe she wasn't quite ready. Carry on, Costa.
Yeah. So this brew from a kind of barley, and then they used to warm it up with water mixed, made into a brew, and it had the effect of ayahuasca, I believe. Yeah. And actually, that was the same thing that they used on the kind of witches, the witches that they had the broomstick, the broomstick that you're supposed to fly with that. Yeah, Karen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The witches. So they used to wrap this barley mixture or something on the broomstick, and then rub it, in between their feet, the women. Okay, and they used to get the effect only from rubbing it on their body. So that's why they show that they're flying. They're actually going into the other dimension, the world, that the spirit world, that the ayahuasca or something that sends you. That's why you have the witch with a broom and like she's flying. That's where it comes from.
Yo también.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I
Yeah,
think,
you're doing a lot of reading at the moment, aren't you, Costa?
yeah, basically reading a bit of like Greek philosophy. I'm listening to a Greek like teacher. He's explaining things about the ancient world and how it all became to work. I mean, what they were doing to help them with all these mythologies and all that. And wow, it's very, very interesting. I mean, the last few days I've been listening to all that, and it comes together, it synchronizes with all this stuff we are talking about now, and yeah, that guy was really really positive. I really enjoyed his talks, and basically, my question is, like the Earth, yes, the surrounding the Antarctic wall, okay, the ice around us. How far does it go? Are there lands after that? I think I saw a map by Bro Sanchez. Bro Sanchez was talking about a map I think he showed on one of his videos, and he was showing that there were lands outside the wall, the ice wall. So I think that's very important. I think that's what we have to look into it. I don't know if anybody knows about this.
Is it that Buddhist map? It's about like maybe about 20 continents outside our
Yes,
area. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yeah. You saw it.
Yeah. It's on a few videos. There's a Bruce Lee video, Flat Earth and Bruce Lee. I saw that one. It mentioned map. I read his biography actually, and it does mention his brother and something to do with Buddhist maps and stuff like.
Bruce Lee
yeah.
says it.
It was something to do with his brother. His brother were like some sort of agent or something. I don't know. That's what it said in biography. That's the first I ever heard of it and stuff like. But I'm sure it mentioned something to do with maps. It's quite a few years since I read it. I need to reread that section.
Yeah.
Because it is relevant to that video that we're out. It's interesting. You know, Bruce Lee had a lot of philosophy, which he got off to teach.
Yes.
I imagine if that's true about his brother and the map, maybe he knew more about the flat Earth than we all realize and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like Bruce Lee has a lot of knowledge, some occult knowledge, and this kung fu thing. It's a whole initiation. I mean, it's a big. It's another field of teaching, isn't it? It's a whole lifetime where you put yourself dedicated to that thing, and you have to pass through a lot to become like, not like Bruce Lee, like even to finish the original kung fu.
You got the Shaolin monks, aren't you?
The Shaolin monk. Yeah.
It's about retaining, keeping the physical aspects of ourselves as like modern society, modern life becomes different on us bodies, and you know what I mean. It's not ideal for us as it were. So they wanted to keep us ideals and in conscience as well as physicality, because it's like about being a person, you know, understanding life properly and treating your body with respect and all that kind of thing. It's got a lot. It wasn't like me rock before Flat Earth came along. It still is really, you know. It's gonna Flat Earth didn't destroy it, like, but But yeah, sorry, I feel like
Yeah, and the thing is with the land outside the Antarctic walls. What my opinion is that Atlantis, the continent of Atlantis, could be in those lands before it was there, Atlantis and Lemuria. And the big flood that happened, that's another like starting point that's common in all religions or all countries' history, especially Homer. Homer wrote the Iliad and the Odyssey. So those two, which are basically poems, they're not like written history. It's like a poem. It's like a mythological poem about Atlantis, basically. What happened in Atlantis, plus the Odyssey. I mean, Odysseus is like us, basically. It's a story of a human. It's all related to us. What we have to pass through in our life, that's probably as they say, it's the most important, written document, the oldest, and it has to do with the Atlantean civilization that was going on for millions of years. So we have to know that. I mean, that's what this philosopher was talking about, and it make me think more about our history, because we kind of cut off what they teach is like 7,000 years ago. It all started until now. I mean, this is a lie of the lies. This is not. It's not true. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. Any way you do it, it's like, there was human before, what is it, caveman and all that, and suddenly we are doing pyramids and all that. It doesn't make sense to me. And I think that history, it teaches you a lot. It's very basic, and that's why they are doing this. So the flood was that was a big thing as well. I mean, all this fear we have now, the fear of death and all that, was created from that flood. So it must have been something really, really terrible, horrible, whatever happened. And I believe that the survivors of Atlantis came to Earth. They made some ships to survive, and from the flood they ended up here. That's my opinion. Again, I'm not saying it's what happened. I just made up because I put things together. All the myths we have, like even in Ireland, they say that the boat came and from the flood, and there were these people that were good, and they taught them, how to harvest the land, and taught them new things. And even they say that the name of one of them was Noah, which is very similar to Noah, and many other places they have the same story. So there must be a connection with that. That's how I see it. And also in Atlantis, they were doing a lot of black magic. They were into black magic. They were sorcerers. They were doing all this bad stuff that's going on today. So I presume that some of them survived as well. So they kept doing all this stuff, and they're still doing it. All this comes from that part. And it's described also. Yeah, tell me.
when I look at like stuff like pyramids and stuff, it gives me the impression of like and all the other ancient structures. There's all sorts of really amazing ones. But such skill in architecture and dedication and artwork to it as well, kind of thing. Because there was so much artwork in past. I don't know if that's even after pyramids and stuff, but back in pyramid days, it's it gives you that impression that we're in touch with spiritual side. I kind of feel like we've gone through like a dark age, and it's like as third eyes have been closed, and we've not been in touch with it, and we've had to refine ourselves. And now it's like we're waking up and stuff, and I kind of feel like we're going back into what we used to be, and that's kind of like one of my theories. And I kind of feel like we're all waking up, and as third eye should open, and we should get back, as we should naturally fall back into his spiritual ways and stuff. Not like the black stuff or all like that. Because well, if there's a spiritual nature and stuff like that, there probably is like a bad version of it or whatever and stuff like that. So just like, you know, you've got a positive and negative to everything, haven't you? So like your intentions, and I think that's the most important thing. As long as your intentions are right, and you know that you're not doing bad, then you should be all right and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah,
no, it feels.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like it feels like we're coming back to what we used to be. Like I say, just to recap that bit. No, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, I think we are close to that, and I think in the past we had more our third eye open, and our vision wasn't so good like now. We had the third eye more developed, more open, and this is coming back though. I think this is coming back, but we have to break the spell of these black magicians. What they are doing. That's the issue we have now, because of how they do it and what's happening. It's totally wrong. Yeah, we can see it now. It's became obvious. I mean, people are don't care. Some people don't care at all. They just want to live their life.
That's conditioning as well.
Yeah, they are conditioning. Yeah, so
like TV and becoming obsessed with like consumerism, owning things, and
yeah, exactly. It's all material. It's all materialistic thing. No, without spirituality at all. But there's something awakening, some vibration, something in the age of Aquarius. Yeah, it's hard to describe. Can't say myself that I can feel it actually. But from what I see in the last years, I saw a big change in the teachings and the people connecting.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi there.
I think most of the change is coming from information. I'm in a lot of different groups, and I keep hearing, oh, there's this energy coming and the sun's sending out solar bursts and all blah, blah, blah. But the only thing I see is information. Just heaps of information coming. So every time they say there's a wave coming, I just think, oh, well, another big wave of information's rolling through the computer.
Information, yeah, it's in Greek, the Greek word is pleirophoria. Pleirophoria, and like pleiris means like complete, and phoria means bring. So it's bringing us to a complete state. Yeah, that's really important.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like the information's alive.
It's alive, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to plug in my headphone. Oh, is that better?
Yeah, it's okay.
Sorry. I'm on a laptop and it hums a bit.
Yeah, so how are you then, Trouble About?
I'm good. I'm off to the museum today to see the mummies and daddies. And I'm quite excited because I've got a whole new attitude and new eyes to see them through. And I can't wait to see what they look like now. Are they going to really look like Egyptian mummies, or are they going to look like something completely different?
Yeah, it's hard to make of all this stuff, isn't it, really?
Well, again, I just see tech. I mean, to me, that they were trying to, I don't know what the term is for it, clone themselves or genetically transfer their consciousness into another body. It's sort of hard to tell because you don't really know what the ruling elite, what technology they really do have. What it's just stories and what's real. Yeah.
And where are you going for this?
Into the city. So just to the Brisbane Museum. Apparently they've got some mummy display on, but it's a 40-minute guided tour, so I'm not really sure.
Well, are there loads of them there then?
I don't know, or maybe we've only got a few mummies and the area's not that big. And they're only letting through clumps of people at a time. Maybe that. I haven't been to a museum and
you know you're going to have to listen to all this stuff and you're just going to have to bite your lip.
I know. Rhonda said to me, just be quiet. And I'm going, bullshit. I'm not going to be quiet. I'm only pointing out stuff like, why is this like that? And just, all the kind of questions that I know the answers to, but I'm just going to point it out for people. I realise that doesn't make any sense. You can't have a stone vase that you can't stick your hand in and say it was man-made. That's... My daughter found it, so I actually I don't know what it is. I just know that they go to the museum today to see mummies.
I keep looking at stuff on Wise Up's channel and in Slave by No Media and Jones as well, and like Jones or whatever he is, Jones and Jones backwards. And I'm just so full of information now.
I know, it oozes out of you, but nobody wants to hear it. Except you guys.
Oh.
But I went and saw, what's that latest movie, The Avengers? And, of course, I can see all the esoteric stuff in it. And by the time we're coming home, the kids are like, nah, that's it, you're not coming with us again. I'm like... Shut up.
I know Billy's having a nice day today. He's having an orange day today. And like he's going, they're even wearing 33. They've even got like some of the t-shirts you can see have got 33 on them. Not a good orange colour. And they've got Orange Day.
What's Orange Day for about?
I think it's to do with the royal family. And it's like orange is, I think, like now deemed like a colour, and how they play their games colour, and it's all over. He was showing us a Google thing, it had orange all over it, and they people dancing away. You've got no idea what they're really chanting to.
No, I didn't realise these movies had so much stuff in them. I just thought they were movies. And especially like the Marvel movies, I mean, they're so esoteric, it's not funny, and then they're about characters that used to be alive, and there's just so much in them. And then I'm just wondering if we do have a group of elite people with that kind of technology somewhere, not the ruling people, humans that we see, but some group of people on an island somewhere. They'd have the tech to be able to make themselves invisible. They don't have to be out in space aliens. They can be here on Earth. I don't know.
Hmm. Well, there used to be these days when you went out, maybe you go shopping or you were looking in the shops, and now you go out and everything, like your eyes, I feel like you're like Inspector Clouseau, aren't you? You're looking and thinking things that you know everybody else isn't. Look at that chemtrail, look at those clouds, look at those corpuscular rays. That's where the sun is today. Okay, well that's when I can see it. You know, whatever.
Yes, I spend.
You know what I mean, don't you?
Yes, looking up at the sky, and then whenever I'm in a car with somebody, because I don't get out in cars much anymore, but I'm forever pointing out the sky. Like, wow, check out that cloud. Did you see that star over there? And
You always
yeah,
sort of got your camera out, Trouble, or do you
yeah.
just?
No, mostly around the house though, because I can't drive, so I don't get too far. Mostly it's out in the backyard, or just a kind of through radius.
Mm. Is it like that for you, Costa?
So say again.
Well, like I said, those are the days when you just went shopping and looked at the clothes or whatever it was. Oh, there's McDonald's. Now you go out, look at that chemtrail, look at those rays. There's the sun. Or look at those clouds in the sky. There's harp clouds. There's rich things. Whatever. You just whatever. Are you more like that, or when you go out now?
You mean to look at the clouds? The
Well, you used to go out, maybe think of, I've got to get to work or whatever it is. Now you go out and you're looking at everything differently.
Yeah, of course. I'm always looking up and taking photos, making videos.
Even
of the
signs in shopping centres don't look the same anymore. You walk around and you're just going, oh my God, there's so much crap in here and so much brainwashing and so many esoteric signs, and it's like, wow, you just saw all this. It's like a whole new planet.
Flat plane.
Yeah, the symbol is everywhere. It's ridiculous, yeah.
I know, you spend half the time wondering if you're in the Matrix or not. So now I'm starting to look at people, and I just used to think, well, they're just normal people who don't know anything. But now I'm like, wow, are we all kind of part of the Matrix and we don't know it? And just like, so we're not just fighting whoever's controlling this tech, but we're fighting all those people because every one of them sees us as a threat. Just like in the movie, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, we're cattle as well. We're like,
well,
I think they think vermin or something. Right, we're vermin or something.
Yeah. And then because they've rewritten so much of history, you just don't even know what's true anymore.
I've kind of got a video which I haven't finished, Trouble. And I was a bit like, as I'm looking into it, I was like, what? They can make these sort of 3D pictures like in the 1830s and like 1830s. And it's a bit like if you look at an object and put your hand over one eye and look through one eye and then you change your hand on the other eye, that thing in front of you slightly moves. And they managed to get that, to do that. So it kind of gave 3D effect. And I thought, what, that long ago? And then through sort of electricity was there, like 1830s, power plants, 1860s, 70s, 80s. But like, what?
And they
had like proper
They worked out what holograms were back then as well, so they understood
and then
that.
You look at I know that Martin Leakey did this, and I just wanted to find out for myself. You can see wires up in the sky, and even on some of the drawings, which have these very sort of old, dress people, you think, what? They've got wires there. Even if they're drawn in, they're there. Why would they draw them in unless the whole thing's a line was made last year? And then you're thinking, and then there's these things which look a bit like, oh, I don't know how you explain it. It's sort of a bit like a feather, like they've got prongs and they stick out, but they've got no wires on them, and they're all down the streets. And you're thinking, what? This is in the 1880s, 1870s, 1890s. Like, what? And then there's wires everywhere, and it's like, wow. I wonder if you asked people when they thought electricity came, whether we'd say, oh, turn of the century, 1910, 20s. It's not. It's like about 80 years before. And then the countries that I was really shocked about was South Africa seemed to be a bit more ahead, and Russia. They were the ones sort of that had it first. So anyway, it was a bit like, what? So
almost
these
contradicts our history, doesn't it?
Graphs trouble. Listen, I'm going to finish in a minute. Those wires in those pictures look just like the things that we've had in our streets for years and years and years. And actually, they're only starting to take them away because everybody's going onto cables underground, aren't they? But we've had those things along the streets for years. I'm thinking, well, we obviously didn't move that far forward in a way, in some aspects then, and yet, like, 200 years. Wow. I just thought that was amazing. If people get my drift, like, in the 1830s, they had some kind of electricity, and then it started to come in. Well, I didn't realise cities and that would have had electricity then. Not how they portray it in the films, is it?
No. Well,
everybody's still on candles and gas lamps and things.
Which makes you wonder about the history of China. Were they really on gas lanterns for 5,000 years?
Well, when I looked it up, China was one of the last ones to get like power, to make what do you call them, power stations. They were one of the last ones.
They were the last ones to discover glass. But that makes no sense because we all know that there was a world united, so they could all share information if they wanted to. So I don't know how China missed out on glass for thousands of years. It changed all their medicines. It changed everything. You have medicines in steel containers. It's not the same as in glass. And so they had no windows, no light bulbs. There was a lot of technology that was apparently. I just don't know if this is true anymore.
Yeah, but you know what? Like how history is all such a lie. Talking about it with Josh when we finished saying goodbye last night. And it was a bit like we were talking about the fact that Dave Murphy came on and he was explaining that he's part Irish and he could trace it all back. And then if black people were made slaves, his family owned land. And slaves don't own land. Or didn't own land. So it's a bit like, what do you believe?
Yeah. I think we've always had technology and they've been moving people around the world and that's what they're hiding. The mass migration, like all the different DNA mixtures that we've got now, if that's even true, that shows that we all moved around the earth.
Yeah, like I remember, it must be New Zealand, a lady there, a native, but she had ginger hair, Maori. I think it's Maori. She had ginger hair, and most of them don't. But there's a pool of them that do. And then they did DNA on her, and she actually came from. Oh my goodness, where did she come from? Country's not there anymore. Oh my goodness, I've just forgotten. But let's just say she came from the Middle East. Part of her gene pool came from the Middle East. And it was a bit like they could see other things happening, and so then they got to where they did. So it was like, so everybody's always been, if that's the case, we've always been moving.
Yeah, except for the native black people. They are always indigenous folk of each country, I think. We're the ones that keep moving around and invade. I don't know what's going on. Did they just clone a heap of us in a laboratory and just set us out on the world?
No. When you work out where we live, it's the most, excuse me, everybody, it's this place you could ever be in.
Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful at the same time, but it's heinous. It's like...
one day it was a bit like, yeah, okay.
That ginger hair you said is connected also with Mohammed. Mohammed who founded Islam. He was like that, and he had a long ginger beard. And Queen Elizabeth of England is connected with Muhammad. Their bloodline connected.
Queen's related to everybody. She's like some big giant spider that just mothers everyone. Maybe they came from the same laboratory. That's what I'm thinking. I just think laboratory now. I don't think of Noah's Ark as a ship. I just think of it as laboratory. And all the ancient cities, I just picture them as underground laboratories like we have today, military bunkers. I don't think the normal people build those underground cities. I mean, we're building them today, but I'm not being asked to go out and help build one. I'm not building one with my mates.
Some of them, though, could be now under the ground because of what's happened to us and settlement and sediments and whatever's happened. But Wise Up, right, on one of his videos, he was saying, I was watching the one, he was basically saying that where the pyramids are in Egypt, you know, the Giza pyramids, that isn't sand because it's a desert. That's sand now because all the buildings have collapsed. Everything's turned into sand.
Yeah, same.
Not everything because there's the pyramids, but there was so much more there. It's not there anymore, and it's sand.
Yeah. Yeah, I think about Australia like that. What was out in the middle of the whole place is sand. Just one tree stump left. There's rock.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think more silicon beings too. In the past, I don't know how.
Yeah. The more you know, the less you know, if you know what I mean.
Yes. The more you'll, yes, it undoes everything that you do know. It's like, oh, crap. I don't know, but this dimension thing, maybe it has to have all these different dimensions and perspectives to actually work, to function, to create. You just have one line of reality, then maybe it's just not enough to create this thing that we're living in.
I'm not even sure what we're living in anymore.
And all the dimensions to me are just information, different clumps of information in your head. So you can have a flat earth and a round earth and a hollow one, an inside out one, a concave one, a sound one, a light one, a mathematical one, a geometric one. And they don't seem to merge very well together, like one contradicts the other, but they're all made from the same base information. Maybe if you only believe in one, you can only see that one. So you'll never find outside the ice ring if you don't believe.
Yeah, what's beyond the ice ring? What's happening there? What do you think? There are any other lands over there, or what?
I don't know, because I don't even know what Earth is yet. I think there's a lot. Like, we don't know what planets are. I mean, I think that they're just same as stars. I think they're just a recording device, and I think the stars records individual humans or life, and the planets are chunks of land on Earth. So you're an avatar in the cloud world, and you jump from land to land. You're going to want to record that movement, and so maybe they called them planets back then.
Yeah, but Karen, who was saying that the moon is like a reflection of the Earth? Was it Jones?
Yeah, there's
it was
around it. Yeah, about that.
Jones.
That was very interesting. Eh? First time I heard that.
Which means that there's more land.
There's more land. Yeah, exactly. So as we see the moon, the Earth is just one of those small craters or something, or somewhere there, and the whole Earth extends to a big big massive thing, whatever it is.
Then that would be your different dimensions then.
Yeah.
And I just started thinking, well, is it a tree and it just like has, like a pine tree, it has a different spreading out, fanning out branch that goes all the way around the tree, and then there's a break, and then there's another row of fan of branches above it. That's sort of how planets are, and they're all stacked on top of them. Because you hear that a lot, the planets, you know, these dimensions are all stacked on top of each other like slices of bread. But there's this huge tree theme, and it's like the tree of the consciousness of this planet. So maybe if you were a tree, this is what you would create. And you can't run around, so you're going to create humans, and they can be your avatar to run around with a bit of free will, so that you don't have to control, 100 avatars.
Yeah, I'm only staying a bit quiet because I've been watching quite well in between our hangouts. That is working. Just listening to like Wise Up, and this is rebar, and and you look at it and you think, yeah, these pictures, that really looks like it could be what he says, and you think, what is all this we're in?
See, I'm still stuck on the brain, so I'm looking at a lot of photos of things like space, magnets, cells of your body, and they all look the same to me. So I'm starting to think now that the Big Bang is just describing our brain, the very first thought that it ever took, perhaps. Because they've got to get all this information from somewhere, some base pattern, and then they've got to run along that theme. And because I think, because thought needs space to expand in. Our brains sit in complete darkness, never see the light of day. And then, thought creates sound, which sound creates light. There's everything you have to create inside your head: sound, light, geometric patterns, information. So I just sit here half the time looking and thinking about the sky, going, "Wow, that's like our brain, that's odd thing, or consciousness." And then I started thinking about the Akashic records and the cloud. Did we make the Akashic records? Because the Akashic records sound really odd to me. It's like it's just the memory of every being that ever existed. It doesn't seem to have a consciousness, because it throws out information to Tesla that the world's going to accept, and it has channeling with people, and they channel with people from the past who don't know they're dead. It's just a really weird place that people draw so much information from it. And then this fake cloud, this computer thing, it's the same bloody thing. And if there's no space, then they're not really storing down the stars, are they? It's going to have to be here on Earth. Instead fits in with the crystal skull thing, and I used to think that was awesome, that they had, like 10,000 years worth of memories per skull. But now I'm thinking like holograms and computers and things. I don't want my essence shoved into a crystal skull.
Yeah.
Sorry, because just hear you a little bit, darling. Carry on, Trouble.
I was just thinking, like, would you know you're dead if your essence is, or your memories are caught in a crystal skull? Are these all the tormented souls that they keep talking about? Is that really where hell is? Not this place underneath the earth of fire and brimstone. It's by trapping people's memories in technology. I don't know. And so would the right thing be to do to smash all these skulls and release everybody and lose all that information? Maybe that's what we've done already. So that's the sort of stuff that keeps attracting my attention.
I've got a theory about what it feels like, but it's not really the right film. But I can't think of another one that's a bit like it, because it's a horrible film called The Saw. If anybody's seen all those, I don't watch these things anymore, but I think I got to Saw 3 or something horrible.
Yeah, me too.
But in it, they're trying to get out, and even if like they've got the keys in their hands, something happens and they get incinerated or something. Even when they think I've done it, they can't get out. And it's sort of like that it's not that we're going to be incinerated. It's just that you get there and you think, oh, but there's all this now, and it just gets deeper and deeper. It just does. And
well, it all made sense, you know, like the Buddhist thing, the way they say it, and you know, you come and you learn and all that kind of stuff. But when you throw technology into it and corrupt people, then the whole thing just shatters, and it doesn't make much sense anymore. Because there are so many things going on, so many possibilities that you don't know which one's the real one. But like, who's at the top of this triangle peg of shit? Who overrides somebody else, you know? Like, are we really going to get a population reduction, or are they enjoying reaping as much money off us as they can for as long as they can? You know, both lines of information exist, you just don't know who's going to override the other one at the end of it all.
I just find it really weird that some of us see this and then we're stuck in this system. There's not really anywhere to go except talk to each other.
Well, I
Right
actually
now.
enjoy the whole thing. That's all I want to talk about. It's all I think it's the most exciting thing that ever happened. It's better than having aliens land here. But nobody wants to know about it hardly, and that's what I don't understand. I don't get that at all. Because when somebody tells you something's wrong and we need to fix it, who looks the other way and pretends that it's not happening? It makes no sense to me. But they've just got everyone so caught up. I mean, I can't even talk to my mum because she's still stuck in the medicine thing. You know, as all the old folks, they've just got them on 1,000 tablets, and they think they can't live without these things. And I have high blood pressure, and I have to take this medicine, or something bad will happen to me. If you can't even tell them that medicine's poison, you've got no hope of telling them that NASA hasn't been to space.
It was my son's wedding a few weeks ago, my middle son's wedding. My parents were there, and I haven't said it before, but I tried to tell them we live on a flat plane, and my mother looked at me and she said, "Oh, no, we don't. I know we don't." I thought, right, well, I won't be talking about that again then.
My mum's been pretty understanding, you know, because, I mean, I've been off with the fairies with the strokes for a while, so I've been coming out with some odd stuff. But she said to me, you know, your grandfather used to be into all this kind of stuff, and he'd look at the aliens, and she mentioned a couple of guys, and I looked them up, and they're full on into the, you know, they're famous for looking into aliens and things like that. But I've gone that one step further, and I can see technology. So I don't even kind of fall into the alien stuff anymore.
Yeah, and you know, like I'm so, like, I would have said up until a couple of years ago, yes, I've seen loads, and I have. I've seen, even in pictures, some really weird things. I saw this like boomerang shaped contrail, but it was only so big and it was just stuck in the sky and it just didn't move for hours. I lived in the country then, so I went to see one of my neighbours, and I just said, did you see that thing? She said, "Oh, yes." I said, "Really?" Yeah, and she said, "Yeah, I've seen it before." Well, that was a weird thing. And then just a few other incidences with weird things. And then, like, I went on a plane flight and I didn't even see it. And I captured this thing moving so fast that you have to slow it down. And you can see it's got a vapor thing on it. And even when you've really slowed it down, it goes really quickly. Goodness knows what that was. And then my son captured this thing outside the window, just taking all these pictures. And I said, "Stop it there." Because I saw this thing outside the window. Don't know what that is. Friend of mine going to Canada, this really weird object thing in the sky, on her plane flight. And then I went into town one day. I was trying to get the red moon, although on a mobile phone at night it's not going to work, is it really? I went click because she was telling me to hurry up, and I came home and there was 2 pictures I took, and it's got this triangle orb thing in it with the extra orb, and loads of people report that. And there it was in my camera view. I didn't see it. I went click, and there it was on the pictures. So I would have said, yeah, aliens, but once you know about flat Earth, yeah.
I haven't seen much of anything. I saw 5 orange lights going across the sky in Brisbane once, and so did a lot of other people. I was delivering pizzas at the time, but it didn't make it on the news. But my grandfather used to worked on the railways, and they had a UFO follow them, and they stopped the whole train, and everybody got off. They were all shitting themselves, and it hovered above them for about half an hour and then flew off. And he would never talk about it. I mean, my mum would talk about it.
I had a friend with a similar experience. At this point, he had to cycle to work, and it was about 8 miles. And when he was coming home one night, he had said the same thing. This thing came down and hovered over the top of him, and the light was so bright, and he thought, "Oh my goodness!" And then chunk, it's gone.
And then you think Tesla discovered anti-gravity, levitation. Let's call it levitation 110 years ago. So once I learnt that changed my opinion on UFOs. I thought, well, at least since then they could be us. And then the more I learned, the more I thought, well, you're not going to tell the difference because we've had the tech. Then you've got, UFOs in cave paintings. So they've obviously been around forever. Since day
You mean
one.
like bees? Because, bees have to resonate, and when they resonate to the frequency they have to get to, they can travel any direction and go up to 30 miles an hour.
Really? Yeah, I think bees have got I think our sight has got a lot to do with bees. I think inside our head, because our brain takes 1,000 photos a second, and then I think it sort of feeds these images back to us very quickly, so it doesn't interfere with the reality that we're in. Because my sight goes so slowly sometimes, I don't know if I'm actually seeing it or imagining it just from the stuff I've learned. But it's like there's this, like a haze. When you look up into the air and you're trying to think about something, bring back a memory. It's like there are these pixel clouds everywhere, and then
oh my
you want
goodness,
to
trouble.
Cloud, yeah.
Trouble.
Yeah.
That's what Costa came in saying today.
Really? Well, yeah, it's because it's this pixel cloud, and then when it it doesn't clear, but it comes together, it's like there's all these honeycombs, the massive honeycomb, and it's full of images inside it. And the images are memories, and some of them are just photos, and they flip through photos, and some of them are actually moving pictures of events, and some of them is just not the actual event that you want to picture because you haven't seen it yet, but you're bringing in like a lamp or a memory of something that you've had to make that picture complete. And as soon as you pick a topic that you want to know about, all these little cameras change to that same topic, and it just feeds all this information to you. And then as you pick more and more what you want to know, they all start to show the same picture, so it becomes more vivid. I don't know, that's sort of how I picture it. I don't know why I got into that topic, sorry.
So sorry guys, I have to go. It's time to go. Nice talking to you.
Yay, good Costa.
Yeah, it's been a tough day for me. I was working all day. Anyway, see you again next time. We'll talk again.
Nice seeing you, Costa.
Yeah, my darling.
Peace and love. Love to you all. Have a good evening.
You too. I'll have to listen to what you were saying earlier. I'll go back and listen later. Because I missed it, I was still asleep.
Yeah. Thanks, Costa. Thanks, darling.
That's what I'm saying.
We've had a really on-off hangout today. People come on, people go off. People come on, people go off. Problems coming on, or whatever they've got to do. It's been on and off, on and off. It's been, yeah. You haven't been on very long, Trouble. We'll go for a little bit longer if you want to talk about something. We've been going for over 3 hours now.
No, you're right. I need to get dressed. I've got to get out of here in an hour.
Oh, yeah, because you're going to see the mummies.
The mummies and the daddies. I was thinking about that. Why do they call them mummies? What happened to the daddies? Because our whole world is, you know, male god, male, male, male. Is this where it swapped from the females to the men? Why wouldn't the blokes one called daddy? You know, like, why mummies? Did the mummies have the power or something? There's got to be a reason.
No, you just think of them just as wrapped up, especially when they take the Mickey in films. Don't think of it as a...
No, yes. But there's got to be a reason, and I bet there's a really good one. Because they don't make up words for no reason. So yeah, it'd be interesting to find out why they call them mummies. Anyway, on that note, I'll let you go.
Yeah, on that note, it's been really great to see you anyway. Anyway, like next Friday, we're going to have Ladies' Night and Trouble's coming on for that one, so that's really good. So look forward to that one. And yeah, it looks like we've got Karen B, Candy from I Spies, Bling Bling BS of the ISS, me. I'm not sure about Patricia. She might be away for a few days. You and Lady Co-Pilot. So, whew, what an evening. Anyway, Lev, do you want to say anything before we go?
I'm all right, I think.
Well, we've talked about a lot of stuff tonight. Anyway, thank you, Trouble. Yeah, damn.
I hate my time zone.
Yeah, we have to stay up most of the night to fit in with everybody else, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna get going.
Anyway,
we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, thanks, my darling. We'll just let Trouble go. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, darling. Anyway, thank you to everybody in the chat rooms. Like the names popping up, I can see people have been in there for quite a long time. That's really great. And yeah, much hugs and love to you. And thanks to everybody that's been on the panel tonight. And thanks, Lev. Just you and me left.
Excellent. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks and good night, good morning, good afternoon from us. Bye, everybody.